Have you ever noticed that sometimes it feels like there are two versions of you living in the same body? One part of you knows exactly what you want, and even whispers, "This is your path. This is your time." But the other part of you, just as strong, drags you down. It whispers softer lies. "Not today, maybe tomorrow. You're not ready. You don't deserve it." And here's the paradox. Both of those voices are you. Both live in your chest. Both are shaping your future in real time. Some call it willpower versus weakness. Some call it discipline versus laziness. But psychology has a far more haunting name for it: the battle between your shadow and your potential. Close your eyes for just a moment. Picture this scene. Inside you stands a dark silhouette. Silent, heavy, watching. This is your shadow. It carries everything you've tried to hide. Your jealousy, your rage, your insecurities, the promises you broke, the pain you never admitted. You think ignoring it will make it disappear? But no, the shadow waits. And when you are tired, vulnerable, or distracted, it moves. On the other side, glowing faintly but unmistakably, stands your potential. Not a fantasy, not a dream, but the living image of who you could be if you stopped betraying yourself. The version of you who kept their word, who honored their discipline, who faced pain instead of running from it. Two figures, two destinies, bound together forever. And every single day you wake up, the war begins again. The shadow never attacks you head-on. It's far too clever for that. It doesn't roar. It whispers. It whispers things that sound reasonable. Not today. Tomorrow will be better. You're too tired right now. Rest first. Don't start yet. You need the perfect plan. And you nod, believing you're making a smart choice. But what really happened? The shadow won, again. The first weapon of the shadow is procrastination. It feeds you comfort wrapped in logic. It convinces you that waiting is safer. But time is the one thing you cannot afford to waste. Every delay is another brick in the wall between you and your potential. The second weapon is envy. You scroll, you watch, you compare. You see others rising, and instead of asking, "What can I learn from them?" your shadow poisons you. It twists admiration into bitterness. You start to resent others for embodying the very qualities you are too afraid to claim. The third weapon is comfort. Soft pillows, warm food, endless entertainment. The shadow wants you drugged by ease, because it knows the longer you stay comfortable, the weaker you become. The fourth weapon is self-doubt. The shadow doesn't scream, "You can't." It simply asks, "What if you fail?" That tiny seed grows roots. Soon, you're paralyzed. Not because failure is guaranteed, but because your shadow made you believe it is. And the deadliest weapon of all? The shadow wears the mask of your own voice. You don't hear it as an enemy. You hear it as yourself. You believe the lie. "This is just who I am. This is my personality. I'm not cut out for greatness." And while you believe that, your shadow smiles. Think back. How many times has this already happened to you? The idea you had but never started. The health you promised to rebuild but never did. The work you delayed. The opportunity you ignored. Every missed chance wasn't stolen by someone else. It was stolen by your shadow. Every once in a while, usually at night when the world is quiet, you feel it. A tug in your chest. A whisper that says, "You could be more. You were born for more." That's not imagination. That's not fantasy. That's your potential, trying to reach you. It doesn't scream. It doesn't force. It simply waits. Like a lighthouse in the storm, silently shining. Have you ever seen yourself in a vision? A sharper, stronger, wiser version of you? That's not random. That's the map of who you could become. And the pain you feel when you compare your current self to that vision, that's the gap between your shadow and your potential. Some people numb that pain. They drown it in distractions, addictions, busyness. But the wise listen to it, because that ache is not punishment. It is direction. The battlefield is simple. Every choice you make tips the scales. Wake up early, train, learn, create. You feed your potential. Sleep in, scroll, waste time. You feed your shadow. And the war is not fought once. It is fought daily, hourly, moment by moment, That is why some people with less talent succeed, while those with more talent waste away. It's not fate, it's not genetics, it's about which side they feed. The haunting part is this: your potential does not wait forever. If you betray it long enough, it begins to fade. Not because it dies, but because you stop hearing its voice. Think of those you've seen who look hollow, who once had fire in their eyes, but now shuffle through life quietly, comfortably, predictably. That's what happens when potential starves. But if you've ever wondered why you feel restless, why comfort never satisfies you, why success in small things still leaves you empty, that's your potential refusing to be buried. The shadow rarely kills your dreams in a single strike. It doesn't need to. It works like water eroding stone, slow, steady, unnoticed. You think you'll chase that idea later. You think you'll get disciplined when life calms down. But weeks become months, months become years, and suddenly, your potential is not gone, but it feels unreachable. Think of people you've known: the brilliant student who wasted their gift on distraction, the friend who dreamed loudly but never began, the colleague who had talent but chose safety until their spark died out. They didn't lose because of fate. They lost because their shadow convinced them to wait. The shadow wins by convincing you to betray yourself. Just one small choice at a time. Skip the workout, delay the project, break the promise, and every small betrayal compounds into a life unlived. Here is the final revelation. Your shadow and your potential are not enemies. They are twins, born from the same energy. The shadow is raw, chaotic, unshaped. The potential is refined, directed, mastered. The battle was never about killing the shadow. It was always about claiming it. The anger you repress becomes drive. The fear you avoid becomes courage. The envy you deny becomes inspiration. The darkness you fear becomes the foundation of your strength. Your potential is nothing more than your shadow, transformed. So the question was never, how do I get rid of my shadow? The real question is, will I have the courage to face it, to use it, to let it become fuel instead of chains? Every day you decide. When you choose discipline, you feed your potential. When you choose excuses, you feed your shadow. This war will not end. Not tomorrow, not next year. It ends only when you do. But here's the gift. Every small victory compounds. Every honest choice sharpens the blade. Every time you walk into discomfort, you tilt the balance toward destiny. So ask yourself tonight, who did you feed today? The shadow or the potential? Because when you lay your head down, when silence fills the room, when no one else is watching, you know the answer, and tomorrow, the war begins again. But now you are no longer blind. Now you see the battlefield clearly. Now you know the weapons, the traps, and the path forward. The shadow will always remain, but so will your potential, both eternal, both inside you. The choice is yours. Which one will you give your life to? Choose wisely.